You're listening to The World at 8 with Lynn Mozart. The World at 8, the number one in nationalist news.
Highlights of the news today, Monday, the 10th of September. An illegal immigrant, twice denied deportation, commits double rape. 2 unions to create more mayhem over pay freezes. German Eurosceptic challenges Merkel. 52 innocent Iraqis killed by their own people. President Assad still fighting for his country. A double 5.6 Richter earthquake hits China. And finally, a biblical time in China. UK news. An illegal Pakistani immigrant who failed to be deported twice has stalked and committed a double rape on a British woman in London. Shoaib Ashraf stalked the woman after she walked home from a Clapham Common nightclub in April last year. The Muslim was dressed in prison uniform and clutched a Koran at the hearing in London, where the judge has set the date for the sentencing of the rapist on October the 12th. The woman's life was devastated after officials failed to report Ashraf, allowing him to stay in Britain illegally. One World at 8 reporter commented, "We, in the Britain of today, have to put up with imported criminals let loose on our society, seemingly free until they might or might not be caught committing a crime. Then they serve their sentence in soft-touch British jails. We then release them into society again. Deportation is the answer before they stand trial. It would empty our prisons and send a clear and concise message that we have zero tolerance in the UK for illegal criminals. That is the problem, when a country's government do not have any respect for the people that put them there." Unite Union and GMB Union are planning a double hit on the people of Great Britain. The 2 unions are overseeing a coordinated disruption against the government, who are implementing a pay freeze in the public sector. Both unions disapprove of the British National Party's stance on British jobs for British workers, and these strikes will create problems for everyday Brits. Obviously, Unite and GMB cannot see past the Labour Party Marxist jargon to actually be grateful for having jobs in the first place. Euronews. At the weekend, Reuters have reported that a Eurosceptic member of Chancellor Angela Merkel's ruling Conservatives, Peter Gauweiler, lodged a complaint with the court over the European Central Bank's decision to buy bonds of struggling Eurozone states, a move that angered Germans unhappy about bailouts. Gauweiler is one of the German Conservative Party's members under Angela Merkel. The MPs in the Euro and in Germany, including experts in the field of law in the Eurozone, have said that this single complaint is not enough to make any changes in the Eurozone's present course on the Eurozone bailouts. The International Monetary Fund's Managing Director Christine Lagarde has warned Europe that spending cuts and an increase of taxes in the United States could be the melting point for the Eurozone as early as next year. The cuts and the tax increases could also cause global economic crisis. World news. 52 innocent Iraqis have been killed in attacks by insurgents. Over 200 more Iraqis have been injured in bombings and firearms attacks over the new government set up by the coalition of the Western powers and the former underdogs, the Shias. It has become a sectarian religious guerrilla war which is threatening to destabilise the whole region. Saddam Hussein, who was a Sunni, kept the Shias in their place. It was Iraqi on Iraqi, and now the pecking order has changed drastically, and more lives will be lost as one side battles the other in a civil war that is underreported by Western media outlets. Syria has had more violence in its conflict with rebels in the city of Aleppo. Rebels have claimed that government forces loyal to President Assad have been shelling positions in Aleppo, which is Syria's largest city. Reporters say that over 24 people have been killed and more are about to die due to water shortages. A World at 8 writer comments, "This is such a constructed war to totally deconstruct a country that was fine. This is like an unfair and preordained trial. We all know who the West is batting for, and that is wrong on so many levels." A double 5.6 Richter earthquake hits China. The quake started with a 5.6 magnitude shock before 11:30 am along the borders of Guizhou and Yunnan provinces, and another equally big quake struck shortly after noon, followed by more than 60 aftershocks, Chinese and US government seismologists reported. Though of moderate strength, the quakes were shallow, which often causes more damage as the region is mountainous and difficult to reach for rescuers. The death toll is 81 so far and still rising. Thought for the day. There is no thought today, dear listeners, because I have been in court all day with Mrs Walker of leaflet fame. I'm not allowed to talk about the case until the final day this Wednesday, but I have made notes, lots and lots of notes for a future thought. So today is a short news day, but for a very good cause. And finally, China's Yangtze River, the third longest in the world, turned red on Thursday afternoon, state television reported. CCTV ruled out the possibility of industrial or sewage pollution causing the change of colour. Although the colour is redder and darker than normal, it's not a problem, one boatman said in Chongqing. This presenter says, "I feel a Moses moment coming on here. When will the frogs rain down and the plague of locusts? They already have the earthquakes." You have been listening to The World at 8. I am Lynn Mozart and I wish you all a very good night.